my name is Alistair, and today I'll be showcasing my creeper farm called Zeus. It is a version 2 of Zeus. This farm has a number of improvements from the last one. The last one has a slightly less dense layout than this one. This one has a more denser layout, and in the last one the creepers could walk out of the chunk and they would interfere with the other towers, and that was bad. So I fixed that in this new one, and it is much faster. So the new rates are exactly 156 stacks of gunpowder per hour, or 10,000 gunpowder per hour, which is pretty ludicrous. This is literally almost 1/3 of Ken's creeper farm. It's a lot less effort and one less player to load it, because this is overworld only. You don't need an alt account or another player to AFK in another so that the mobs don't despawn. I'll show you how this farm works after this place loads, which will take about a few seconds. So yeah, wait. Alright, this is a Trident killer I'm using. It is the same as the last one. It is Goldenhelmet's waterless Trident killer. I'll link his channel in the description and the video as well. So the way that the Trident killer works is that loot and XP gets pushed and launched by the slime block into wherever you want. In this case, it's fodder stream. I'm using this Trident killer because it is lag friendly for mobile users. My phone cannot handle things that are too laggy because obviously it is only a phone with a mid-range chip, so I am slightly limited in terms of performance. And the magma around this is a modification that I had to use because for some reason I have been seeing creepers escaping from the sides. Also the trapdoors are there to prevent them from escaping. Actually there's supposed to be a trapdoor here, just like the one over here, but I guess the structure bug didn't save it, I guess. Oh well. You can see the Trident killer in action. The creepers are being spawned in a 10 game tick delay. The creepers fall in. They fall from a 20 block tall drop shaft. They die instantly by a one-hit kill Trident. Sometimes the creepers can jump. As you can see, they jump, actually get bounced by the slime block, but it doesn't really matter that much. Then the loot and XP gets put into the fodder stream. The XP gets burned into the fire. The loot gets sucked up by these 3 armor minecarts. 3 because sometimes one can handle, not because it's too fast, but just because the item just skip over it for no reason. So I just put 2, but even so, it doesn't even want to pick because the game is stubborn, so I had to add a 3rd one. So yeah, this dropper clock is also designed by Nexus. It's one of the more elegant ones I've seen, and it's 4 game tick. Let's turn this off. Sometimes you may see some XP escape, but that's just client side. It is a client side XP desync. So the actual location of the XP is actually inside the farm. You can fix this issue by relogging. Not really that big of an issue. Now the layout I'm using in this farm is a denser version than the last one. This has a total of 68.75% density because I use 2 different layouts. 2 if you don't count the fact that this one is literally just this one, but with a different placement of the water source. one thing to know is that creepers, or actually mobs in general, can spawn. Actually, they just spawn in between 4 blocks. They spawn in the northwest corner of a block, and they can also spawn inside water that is on top of scaffolding. They can spawn inside this. These trappers are to block 2 tall mobs from spawning. So yeah. The first layer here has a density of 66.67%, uses 8/12 spaces. This one is the same, it was a different equipment, and just to, have a faster kill time, this one has a 6/10 spaces used, which is 60%, and that's an overall 22/32 spaces used, which is 68.75%. The buttons are shifted. The buttons that are actually just block spiders. This pattern, I believe, was made by ǝʌı̈ TV, that actually mixed the waffle fun with this fun, so yeah. And the topmost layer is made by ice, and the buttons are shifted so that we get more X and Z coordinates and surface spawns. And that's pretty good because the mob spawning algorithm on Bedrock Edition chooses a random X and Z coordinate first. We want to maximize the X and Z coordinates in this farm. The roof I'm using is by Rufus atticus. It extends out 9 blocks in each direction, and the chunk that actually has mobs inside of it, you use 2 layers of ice with buttons on it, just because one, ice does not block surface spawns, but also mobs can spawn on ice, so we have to block it using buttons here. Last thing I want to note is that this farm uses split density. Yes, I know, I've used this thing a lot. It's pretty cool. This setup here, as you would know, 1 block here represents 1 chunk, and the stained glass represents the density check areas. The colored concrete represents the block of which, the chunk of which game chose to spawn a mob at. So the netherite blocks here represent the same HG spawn, and thus each tower has their own density check area. They don't overlap the other towers, which means the other towers operate quite independently and do not interfere with each other's rates, which is optimal for our efficiency and width of this farm. Just wait this to load for a second. Now, another improvement that I made to this farm that I did not in the last V1 Zeus is that this farm is built in a deep frozen ocean. Creepers have a higher chance of spawning in a deep frozen ocean because in deep frozen ocean, strays only spawn at a certain Y limit. I can't exactly remember. I think it was around 62 to 65, but yeah, that made creepers spawn a little more. In plains, they spawn over 20%. They have a spawning percent chance of 20%. And in deep frozen ocean, they have a spawning percent chance of 24%, 24.10% to be exact. And this gives us a slight advantage in rates and efficiency. It is to be noted that it is best built, this creeper farm, at deep frozen oceans. If you wanted to build this at other biomes, well, expect lower results, expect lower rates, and yeah. Now, some people have been complaining that this farm is too big for their liking, too massive, just overall hard to build. So I built Athena, which is a smaller version of it, but more efficient because let's wait for this to load. This time it's quick because it uses only 8 layers. Yes, load please, God. It is only 8 layers. Yes, I know the rates do decrease by more than half, but the efficiency actually goes up because we are using less layers, because more layers does mean an increase in rates but does not mean an increase in efficiency, because you are putting more effort into it and you are not exactly getting to a 1-to-1-ish effort to ratio. I mean effort to results. Oh crap. Weird. Anyway, this farm gives about 73 stacks of gunpowder in an hour, which is pretty decent for the average player. And if you don't want to build all 5 of them, I think just one module alone has like 13 to 15 stacks per hour. It's pretty decent for early game purposes. So yeah, everything else is pretty much the same except the AFK spot, because it makes more sense to do that. So yeah, that's all I have to say for today. You can either build Athena or Zeus. Zeus is for more or less the people who wants to go all out, and Athena is for people who want to build good, efficient, not that time-consuming farms. This has been Alistair. I hope you have a nice day, and I'll catch you in the next one. See you.